Welcome to the Patoki of Illinois channel. I'm Ona. Thank you for your likes, comments, subscriptions, and support. I am truly grateful. Today, we are turning to Hecate for a new moon reading to see what she has to say to you. Of course, since this is a general reading, we will do your signification. If you recognize yourself in the signification, then something important will happen for you during this new moon, and Hecate will tell you about it. If you don't recognize yourself, that's neither good nor bad. It just happens. The new moon will pass like an ordinary day. Yes, just like any other day, that's all. Nothing special will happen. A message. But that's neither good nor bad. It's normal. It's normal. Anything can happen. Sometimes there's a message for us, something important, and sometimes there isn't. This is us looking at you, how Hecate sees you. What does she want to tell you here? This is your signification, so this is your signification. We're choosing. Very interesting. Continuation. Some kind of new path. Maybe you have planned some kind of new path. You managed to do something. You put an end to something, or you planned a new path. A really new path. The card says you put an end to something. And you say, now I can do this, this, and this. And this means that it will improve your life. Rebirth like a phoenix. Interesting. So, something valuable. That's how they show you, Hecate. Something valuable. You've done something very valuable, important for you. I don't see people here yet, or maybe just a few valuable ones. At most, yes, you did something valuable for yourself. You took some kind of chance, maybe finances, because the Ace of Pentacles is money. Well, it's just a chance to earn. It doesn't mean that I won a large amount somewhere or took a big chance. Maybe a new job, a new client, I don't know. You learned something, and this card can also indicate health. Yes, since pentacles relate to the material world, you spent money on your health to experience renewal. Well, you managed to do something here, but it's just a chance. Doubt follows. A chance. A chance, but a very valuable one if you manage to do something for valuable people. Well, people consider you to be quite an amazing person. Well, a mage. A mage. That's what you got. What can I say? It's a magical time, and Hecate sees you as the mage of her life, of her destiny. That you have some kind of magical time. Well, what kind of magical time? You're dealing with something. In your everyday life, you're handling something. That's right. You got hurt, but clearly you have some urgent matters to deal with here. You know it's impossible to postpone them. You've thought about it for a long time, maybe just planned or took a chance to do something. Subtitles by Dematerzak. Interesting. Okay. We have Hecate seeing the Four of Pentacles. Well, with the Four of Pentacles, maybe you did some sort of inventory at home, brought valuable things home, bought something valuable for the house, with the Four of Pentacles. Well, this is basically the foundation, like an inventory, yes. Like we did an inventory of our life. What do we have at home? What do we have enough of? What are we missing? What do I need for comfort, or for my health, for my comfortable well-being? Because this is the first card. It's like, I need to be reborn. Maybe I'm very tired somewhere. Now I need to be reborn, yes, in my comfort zone. To be reborn financially, to add something to my day. Well, let's say I spent something on the house, or on my family members. Now I need to add something here, to add. The only thing, yes, is set, follows. The only thing. Here, maybe real estate as well. I need to pay for real estate. I'm doing an audit. Again, here Hecate shows you that you are really good with your comfort zone, or with some kind of audit. Maybe someone did an audit of things, sold them and got valuables in return, in exchange for valuables. Well, you took the chance. Look, you were able to take the chance. You need something to revive you. But what is there to replenish here? Well, what about the comfort zone? Well, here is a girl standing. She thinks she has everything at home. What is she missing? Well, really? Maybe someone did some renovations. Well, then probably just some cosmetic repairs. Or maybe she's investing money in buying real estate. Four of Pentacles. Values. Yes, I'm investing in my comfort zone. Investing in real estate. Well, then it's some kind of incomplete purchase, like I can only invest. It's called I can, so that things get better for me. Also, since you are represented by the Empress, you have Hecate. You are shown as a very resourceful person. You are represented by Hecate. Maternal energy, Mother Earth. Are you worried about something earthly right now? Here, a mother bandages her child's knee. If you have children, maybe you're helping your child with something. If you have a creation, a project of some kind, you're not rushing it too much, because Mother Earth always knows you can't hurry things, or else something might be born prematurely. Well, there are certain periods when you need to maintain some kind of comfort zone. That is, you can't rush things. Maybe you can't rush your child. Like, come on, buy it right away or earn $1 million. I don't know. Yes. Maybe sometimes we have to be an empress for ourselves. Maybe take care of our inner child. There's some kind of emotional wound then. Anyway, there's some kind of wound here. Maybe it's about health. It's something material. Look, there are 3 cards of matter. And you managed. Maybe there was some kind of wound with your health. Did you patch it up? Cover it with a Band-Aid? Now, take care of your inner child. Everything will be fine, and we'll grow spiritually together. Maybe you are working on yourself. Some people live alone, right? Because sometimes this card means I managed on my own. Look, I managed on my own. The Magician on a new path. I managed on a new path by myself. If we view it by earnings, it's about managing something else valuable in terms of earnings. Well, that's how I see it. This usually applies to flashy types as well. Well, that's not always right. Here, it's a completely personal story. Maybe they took on something extra, like an additional job, for example. I'm in charge, a manager, yes. I'm the one who manages things, like when and where to go. I also want a card. I put it right here. To put an end to illusions is called making a choice. Anyway, they show it here, so I made a choice. I made a choice because I know I can do it. Well, you're taking care of something new for some reason. Maybe it's really your children. Or maybe it's something new growing, a new relationship. Well, maybe then it's in the comfort zone. Then it's a valuable chance. I can live, yes, with someone. Well, then your status increases here. You know for sure that your status will rise because you know that you can do it. Empress, promoted. For example, I can live with this man, yes. In the comfort zone, well, I'll be fine there because you are a valuable person, someone who knows how to create, yes, that comfort zone. Magician. For example, it might sound like that, or I can. Here, a child is growing up alone. He has started a new path. I made a decision. I came out of the illusion that, well, you can't do it while the child is small. Yes, it's normal for a mother to live with her child. But if the child is already 40 years old, then that's not normal anymore. When the mother puts the child on the potty, feeds them with a spoon, that can also happen. Yes, the maternal energy came into play here. To be continued. Illusions. about health, about alcohol, about work, about... Sure, some emotions. You want it all. But I made a choice to put a stop to it. And to something else too. Yes, I put a stop to it. I did it. I decided. And now I took a new chance. And it will be better from now on. If you are still in control of something here, why did you get such high status cards? First of all, you know for sure that you can handle this. Well, of course, there are some nuances here, but you're not rushing. You know that this takes time, that it's about time. Everything needs to be resolved, to work through. And for the most part, it's about work here, something related to your job, working through your status, or the status of your child, like he needs to grow up. Here it's your creation of some sort. It needs to grow. Continuing. Look, you keep investing in something very important and valuable. Continuing. 7 of Pentacles. Hard work. I'm working hard. Once again, I will take this valuable chance somewhere. To be reborn later. Even if you are investing money or time right now, you know very well that your status will improve later. Or maybe you'll even help your children as well. Let's just keep asking further. Plans to maintain your comfort zone. Again, there are a lot of pentacle cards about preserving your comfort zone. You're a great planner right now. You have your plans for maintaining your comfort zone, your safety net, some finances, real estate. This could also include people who have access to your home by status. This could be a man, maybe even a child. And in general, whoever you have given status to or want to give status to. If there is no one, then this is your own status. This is where yours grows. Because he is a magician, I can. A person, I follow, a planner. This has been happening for a long time. Something has been dragging on for you for at least 6 months. Maybe you need to update it every 6 months. Taking care means studying something, caring, finding new information, or talking to your child. Again here, like your student. Here it turns out to be some kind of student. If there's someone else here, there's a man here. I don't know who you give the status of child to at work. Maybe you give someone that status, like when you're studying something. Well, or you always have to talk there. You always have to communicate. It's right in the plans. And you constantly have to invest. You have to keep investing, investing, investing. And you know for sure that you can grow higher somewhere. Look, Mag, I can grow higher somewhere, really grow higher. Someone might be taking some courses or something else. Well, the student card came up. Or maybe they're always teaching someone, like on a regular basis. Well, first of all, we ourselves are always learning. Not learning is amusing. We're always trying to improve our lives. Life is constantly changing. Something is always happening with something. Here you need to put a period. You need to make decisions. You need to choose something. Of course, we learn how to get more resources. Like Mother Earth. Do you actually grow something here yourself? I would say, well, again, I'm doing this reading in the winter. Someone else might be watching at a different time. I don't know, it's like I'm growing a comfort zone right here. My focus is always on it. It's very valuable to me. I can do this. This is a 4-4 cards. Yes, they can still indicate someone's child, but again, I'll repeat, it's not a child, it's a creation. Or status. Your status will really grow there. What kind of status? Well, you understand clearly. that this status will give you a breakthrough. This status will start happy changes. Really happy changes. You may also clearly understand that the cat, the trip, is a means of communication and transportation. This is the card of communication and transportation. Or, for example, I will leave toxic relationships for brighter, healthier, better ones. Or I will leave toxic relationships with myself for brighter, healthier, better ones. But in the earthly sense, there are a lot of earthly cards. This is a purchase of something big, but sometimes it shows means of communication or transportation, like a car or a laptop. A phone, yes. Once you reach a certain status, you know that. You clearly understand right now that this will really change everything for the better. This status. If you get it, a lot of information, you study a lot. Maybe you're going through some paperwork, and you tell yourself, oh my goodness, there's so much to do. And here there's always a little bit of fear of whether you'll make it. You understand that you will, but at the same time you might also think, what if I don't make it? Anything can happen in life. What if I don't make it? But this card, again, it's an energy card. It says that higher powers are helping you here. And the Queen of Cups, emotions. In general, you have all the answers. It's just that your emotions are a bit stormy. Before the new moon. Well, obviously, your emotions are stormy. The Queen of Cups came up for you. Her emotions are always turbulent anyway. And my emotions are stormy. It's exactly because I'm afraid I might forget something, or I might overlook something. If there are kids here, they're grown up. We can't make decisions for them. I mean, as they say, I can help. I can. You don't need to worry about things that are stronger than you. You can't. Well, I can't. You can't make all the decisions or order around an adult child. Eventually, it will annoy them and harm your relationship. Or, for example, with a man. This is just the Queen of Cups, just on the glyph of the arcana. There's also a man here, so maybe it's about a man too. There's some that maybe he'll forget something. Maybe he'll overlook something, take a wrong turn, mess up the means of communication or transportation, not call, not do something, miss something, or overlook it. Well, you are definitely being protected here by a higher power. They say if you stop worrying and approach what you're concerned about more specifically, you'll study what you can actually influence. They call that being in my hands. See, the girl here has something in her hands, some information, documents. She has some maps here. What is in your hands will change this, and what isn't in your hands. Don't worry about it. Well, there are things that are completely out of our hands, like death. No one has ever become immortal. Well, absolutely, no one can do anything about it. Not scientists, not magicians, not illusionists, and so on. Of course, illusionists can, yes, they can make a movie about an immortal person. There are a lot of movies like that, you know. But in reality, it doesn't exist yet. So there's no point in worrying about it. Worry about what is in your control. And if you stop worrying, you lose something. That's the point here. What is in your hands directly changes your life for the better by itself. And in everything else, higher powers help you. Well, so as not to violate, as they say, the freedom of will and the right of choice of other people. Yes, maybe they give you some kind of connection, but even if you love someone very much, you shouldn't force them. That's overprotection. Well, they constantly give you some kind of saving information. Saving information? So that you can do everything. Thank you. Are you and watched? Followers. Something. You carry it? Yes. You are the Ten of Wands. It completes some kind of cycle. You will all make it here, but the Ten of Wands. She doesn't say that everything will be so easy. And this? Maybe it's something about the new moon. But this is how you are being shown right now. This is now, starting from the new moon, we will be watching this. It means that you will be able to finish everything you are worried about. Maybe go somewhere, talk to someone, solve some urgent problem. Because I'm looking at everything. So, what are you planning there? An urgent problem, but in fact, you know that you can solve it. You're just worried because so much has piled up. Here's an urgent problem, and you know you'll solve it. Because here you also solved something. But what did you solve here? What did you solve here? Well, let me request one more card from this deck. Then we'll eliminate the oracle. What did you decide here? What? You found some kind of way out. Really found a way out. Let's go. We searched and found it. Well, something valuable. You definitely found something valuable. Some kind of valuable way out. Sometimes this Five of Pentacles card speaks about a lack. Maybe someone was missing something. You found a way out. You were missing something, or someone was missing. You found a way out. Most often it's money. Most often money or health. If you were lacking health, you found a way out. There are some helpers here. Maybe you turn to someone for help. To be continued. You found a way out of the Five of Pentacles. But sometimes it also shows strength of spirit. To be continued. I lacked strength of spirit. I inspired myself, I managed, and, in general, something valuable. So you put a period on the lack of something. Maybe there was a lack of a certain person. You told yourself, I can handle it on my own. I can work through it on my own. I'll do it. Look, also the poppy. It's still a new path, a new way. You found a way out. I can handle it on my own. I can do it. Well, there still could have been some helpers here, like some dwarves. Let's ask Raku after all. He speaks more clearly. What did you work through here? You're standing right on a new path, like a poppy. What did you work through here? Taurus, what is it responsible for? Taurus is an astrological sign. Maybe someone worked through their relationship with a Taurus, and it became more spiritual, better. Work, Taurus. Its ruler is Venus. For it, it's either love or the people we love. The work is the same. I'm toiling. Look, hard work. I'm still toiling here, like a Taurus, like a Taurus. Money, but the kind of money that Taurus brings goes toward comfort, coziness, well-being, toward what we enjoy every day, you know? That includes food, by the way, for Taurus. Everyone loves pretty things, really. Everyone. Everything tasty. And they want their apartment to be nice too, you know? It has to be pretty, you see, not just buying some shabby little hut on chicken legs. No, it has to be pretty too. Not just any job I found somewhere just to work hard. I want it to be nice as well. It's not just for nothing. Because Taurus, of course, loves to enjoy life, loves to enjoy things. To communicate with people who are beautiful both on the outside and on the inside. And if you were missing something or someone here, for example, maybe a man, yes. What kind of status is this? Or maybe you were missing some kind of job, right? Maybe you've been working really hard here, and you keep working hard in this direction, and you've already contributed something valuable there? Or maybe home, as the Four of Pentacles suggests. Or people who come into your home, some beautiful ones. It's comfortable with them, you know what I mean? But with those you don't feel comfortable with, you've made it clear. You've understood who makes you uncomfortable here. You see? The girl talked to everyone, communicated about work, about home, and about her own desires. Cups also represent some of my own desires. Will I feel comfortable with my desires or not? Well, it's great for Taurus, unless there was a Taurus who made you uncomfortable, the one who works and works all the time. Well, maybe there's something else going on with him. So let's move on and ask, what are you working on? What have you added? Something valuable. Let's do it this way. Let's put this aside for now. I was revealing something so I wouldn't see the oracle. What's valuable? What did you add there? Oh, the card fell out by itself. 2 cards fell out, wow. First of all, Karmic, here is something valuable. They added a cross. Maybe they did something for the deceased. A person, yes. Something valuable, look, yes, valuables. Prayed for the deceased, saw someone off on their last journey, and here are money matters, expenses, spending came up. So the cross of fate. A heavy cross of fate. You were spending money somewhere. I think you were really spending it somewhere. You were really spending money. Maybe you were worried that someone would die. Well, I hope not. Well, if you were worried about yourself, then you spent money here. You're watching me, which means you're alive, and you're already comfortable, and your status. You know that you can get something better. Better? You are actually studying and planning to get something better. And what if you helped someone on their final journey? Well, this transition is difficult, yes. Maybe for someone or someone, well, someone like that. Then a person could end up in such a stressful, difficult situation. You actually spent money because of the rats. But look, for me, Lenormand doesn't have that meaning at all. But for me, rats often come up for children. Because look, what can we take away from ourselves and give to someone else? Rats never kill, they don't kill, they can't consume all your resources. Well, most often it's the parents who help their children. Karmic partners? Karma, those who are destined for us, that's our parents. Maybe something happened with a parent. Yes, they ended up in the hospital and you actually sent money, right? Karmic partners. Husbands, the ones we had children with. Those are definitely karmic. There are really major changes involved. Men, too, can be karmic teachers, making things either harder or sometimes better. The choice, the cross of fate, is a choice you have to make all the time, me or them. That's how it always is, me. That's why we are karmic partners with our children. We love them so much that we give everything, as long as we don't destroy ourselves. You know, that's why there's always a choice here. I'll die if I keep doing this all the time. It's a karmic choice. I know the consequences. Like, if I give everything right now, well, then I'll die. This challenging decision keeps arising with karmic people. And it's exactly with those people that it's either the best or the scariest. It's exactly with our closest and dearest ones where we have the deepest feelings and the hardest choices, right? But it's our closest and dearest ones, the ones we've lived with for a long time, the ones we've invested so much in for so long. Mom, Dad, Grandma, and Grandpa all raised us. That's why they become karmic for us, and we're ready to give something up for them, to give it up. It doesn't destroy us. Why is it like that with children? I often feel that way, but we also have other karmic partners. There's a man, for example, whom I chose, and there's something going on there too. And, for example, he's such a greedy rat, haha. How does he act? I keep investing in him and love him, but I need to decide. These are less karmic situations I must resolve. That's enough. I need to end it. And there's a man with whom we've carried the cross of fate, hardships, and sorrows together. We've worked hard together, and then something happened to him. He ended up in the hospital. We give all we have left, even our last bit, and go there to either say goodbye or hope for his recovery. Right here. You invest in something that will give you more status. It's better to look at the karmic solution of working really hard for a long time. For example, into your comfort zone or an apartment. That also changes things. We take out loans for 30 years and pay them off. Can you imagine how long we can carry that burden, whether we're sick or not? If we get sick, we dig into our savings somewhere just to pay for this apartment. And then after all that, it even says here the term can be as long as 36 years. And then suddenly we become owners, and we only have to pay for electricity and water. That's what this is about. You were really spending money here. I'm telling you right away, you were spending money. Maybe you were looking for some kind of comfort zone, but you found it. I'll tell you right away, you found it. I don't know of a comfortable job where I can pay for real estate or help a karmic partner or a child. Your status is growing here. Your status is really growing. What comfort zone are you talking about? I'm the defense. You're protecting her. I also want to add the map here. That this is the kind of defense. A tower. Well, a tower, maybe. Really, just to show the structure as real estate, the tower is our head. We have some rules. There are rules. In our head. You talk about justice, I will defend, spend money on it. Oh, government institutions, the tower. State buildings, hospitals, post offices, courts. Large organizations can also be included here, like tax offices. Everything that's regulated, that's really important. Other government rules, or the rules of my home. Sometimes in my head, it's just the rules of my home, or something else. I really defend them. Look at how you defend your comfort zone. Sometimes it's just... So, let's try asking about the status like this now. Upstairs. I'll take you there directly. It's something spiritual, a spiritual attitude toward oneself. I know that about this. I will defend it. This is something or someone I will defend. This is the highest spiritual thing, my own kind of birth. I don't even know. Manifestation. We love ourselves for this, even respect ourselves, somehow we do for this. Well, if it's related to myself, I protect myself. I have some rules in my head. I do this for myself. I really respect myself for it. Maybe I processed some documents. Maybe I studied something, I don't know. Maybe something specific. I respect myself for that. Well, obviously, I will keep respecting myself for it. Well, for women, it's really, really important to have children. We respect ourselves for that. So, I fulfilled myself as a mother. But if you already have children, then you'll do everything for them. Or you fulfilled yourself as a woman of status, as a wife, as the owner of an apartment, or as the owner of a small business. Then, well, then it was officially registered. Here, everything is about something officially registered here, on Earth, somehow in accordance with your own internal rules. Because here it's only your internal rules, if we're talking about you. Yes, and I respect myself. Well, that's truly a desire of the soul. Is this really why you incarnated at all? Higher self, you incarnated here, higher self. Look, here's a little earthly person. Here she is. You, a resourceful woman, an earthly person. Here you have a soul, and through the higher self, right here, the higher self looks in the mirror. It is always connected with higher energies, with guardian angels, with God. And so it goes. Basically, everything that is above us, here it is, and it looks at you from another space, a parallel world. So you were born here. You chose this higher, some kind of destiny of yours. Wow, by the way, I just realized how much you have worked here, on this land. For money? Yes, because we definitely need it. We definitely need a comfort zone. We just can't do without it. Just imagine, without a comfort zone on Earth, it's impossible to fulfill the purpose of the higher self. There's just no way, because you'll die. You won't have food, water, or a roof over your head, and you won't be able to fulfill your purpose at all, in general, until you learn how to earn a living and provide for yourself, until you cover all your earthly needs. And you say, well, there was a lack, but I can. It's called I can. I can keep going, keep growing. And here, there's something really just. We are born for many things, not just for one specific thing. Our goal, our task, is to realize ourselves in society, in male-female relationships, for example, to get married as a man or a woman. Maybe these are status-related, some kind of male-female things, or it's just about love. Who do I love? Why do I love? And how do I love myself in these relationships? In parent-child relationships, well, starting with the fact that we are children ourselves, then we become adult children in parent-child relationships, then we grow up into male-female relationships and start to realize ourselves, and then into status-related male-female relationships. We marry someone, have children, and then the parent-child relationships start all over again. And we also realize ourselves in society. At first as a child, as a student. At school and so on, at universities. Then at some job, we learn it as students, and then we can teach others ourselves. There are many ways to find yourself there, thus the higher self. Here, it's really about your purpose, and your status grows, maybe as a mother or as an adult child, or as someone's student, yours. Realization, interesting. Student. Like a sage. Insight gained from past experiences on Earth. Well, I'll say right away that since you have the higher self and the hermit, the experience covers at least 2 or 3 lifetimes. You're having a higher experience here. 2 or 3 lifetimes as a hermit, since the hermit card appears with the higher self. This is a karmic, wise experience accumulated over years by the soul. That is, for this experience to reach a higher status, whether it's in parent-child relationships, male-female relationships. I don't know, you're creating something here, but you know it's not a quick process. Maybe you delegate something to your students. Well, you delegate things to your children. They've learned how to earn money. Now you delegate authority to them. We also delegate some of our experience, some of our wisdom to our students. Well, I don't know. Maybe you'll delegate to other students at work. I don't know. At work, it's like a higher level. It's not something major. It often happens with women, too. Well, I mean, working with women, but it doesn't necessarily just raise your status. You can delegate some experience, teach something. Or, for example, if it's work, then it's considered easier because wisdom comes out more easily for work. More comfortable. I don't know. Like several lives in a row. The hermit itself actually says that the soul is old, ancient. It could have incarnated an infinite number of times, but not on Earth, because Earth is a young planet, so to speak. Maybe even somewhere in other energies. But the story itself, that it sounds like 2 or 3 lives, when the family from above, well, let's say 3, the Empress, the 3. Yes, the student learned something. You were learning something there. Gaining experience, experience, experience. And now you are ready to receive a higher status in an easier job. I don't know. Maybe in a more respectful attitude from men towards you. Status according to the Empress. In a more respectful attitude from children towards you. I don't know. Maybe something else. Your soul was really incarnated for this. Just imagine, like this. From being a student over several lifetimes, you go somewhere and you understand what a story it is. You don't spend any money on this? It's some kind of resource, because the Empress is resourceful. She has resources. But the Empress's resource is in 4 areas. An emotional resource. Don't hold back emotionally from experiencing something, thinking about it a lot, making decisions, searching for information, doing a lot for it, and even spending your own money and sleepless nights, I would say. That's also a kind of resource here. Could it be about the past? Let's ask now, let's go. Home, house, stability, real estate, parents, children. Again, people who come into your home, the home of the soul. Maybe it's also the higher self. It usually observes how wisely you treat your body. To be continued. That this is the Saturn card for the long term. What is this Saturn card for the long term? Well, excuse me. Here it's 30 years here. It's 18, 19 years here. There are some major ones. So, something in this new moon, something serious will happen for you during this new moon. What does the card reveal about society and your future rest? The garden came up. The garden is a card of rest. The garden is the society where I can relax. Or maybe it's the society I choose where I can rest. My society that I love? Can it relax? Or are they in heavy karma there? The internet also shows it, by the way. The internet is also such an Aquarian card. It's, well, like people, family, yes, or society. which is being influenced from the outside. Subtitles made by Dimatorzak repeated 3 times. Cleansing of what? Cleansing. Pisces. Pisces are the 12th house of the horoscope, Pisces. Maybe if there are Pisces, then some kind of Pisces, we have cleansing. We actually have karmic eclipses. Virgos, Pisces. They're ending, by the way, January, February. There will be a full moon in February. And in February, there will also be a karmic eclipse, but not in Pisces. It's actually in Aquarius. And in Pisces, I think there will be a karmic eclipse in August. In the summer, let's just say in the summer, I actually haven't checked. Usually, if I do it, I check the exact dates. You can look them up there. Maybe by summer, there will be some kind of cleansing happening in society. Yours and here. This is earlier. Old karma. The highest. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, another ruler, but I don't know which zodiac sign your 12th house is in on your natal chart and what it rules. That's the symbolic ruler. Of course, in general readings, I can only talk about the symbolic rulers, but that's also in general readings. It still shows the situation very clearly. The karma of the higher past. It also shows that over several lifetimes, presumably three, something increases for you. Yevgeny was writing, "Where are you going?" Well, this is the tree, your tree. Here it may indirectly refer to people, but specifically in this card. When you take care of yourself, when you treat yourself right, your ancestral energies also grow. But the main reason here is your attitude towards yourself. What kind of attitude, without illusions, is more spiritual? Because sometimes we can treat ourselves in a non-spiritual way. Smoking, drinking, destroying ourselves. At work, we might be hyperactive or something. But when it comes to ourselves, we need to have the highest level of spirituality. And only then does it start, after you've worked on your health, on this personal health map of yours. Your mental health. If you read some kind of toxic attitude towards yourself with Pisces, maybe there were several lifetimes. Interesting. Maybe you ruined your health at work? I don't know. According to Neptune, in a negative way. Because the tree is our life. It's our healthy attitude towards ourselves. And how we earn money, even here, let's say. I was earning money and destroying myself. Destroying myself at work, I don't know. And only then, here, the resource of the whole family is born. Well, the gift. In general, you had a gift in the previous reading, I think, too. You can check the previous reading here. Right before this, there was also something mentioned about your gift, if I'm not mistaken. Worrying about the whole world brings very strong emotions, where psychosomatics, even because of worries, there are hidden, suppressed emotions that could have caused either the formation of stones or the destruction of teeth and bones. So, in general, teeth are dense, strong, yes, suppressed emotions, or, on the contrary, overly open emotions, yes, the opposite. It's not for nothing that this society, maybe the society around you that you love, it caused a storm of some kind of hyper emotions. In general, you are working on your gift here. Your soul was born for this, and most likely you will have more serious stability. And then, naturally, people will start to act. Yes, here is the choice, the expansion of your possibilities. So some old karma from several lifetimes will be closed. But again, you will be the one making the choice. This is the choice from your past incarnations. It was hard to make. You either chose other people. Well, who are you worried about here? You worked and worked, but couldn't cleanse yourself. Or you were angry, I don't know. Maybe at yourself. Maybe there were even some accusations against yourself. I can't help. I'm bad. I think something about myself. We act exactly the way we can at that moment. There's no other way. So, our worldview. We feel, we learn all our lives. We really shouldn't scold ourselves. We act in the best way possible, as we imagined ourselves and our surroundings. And when your worldview expands, you have the gift to see these expansions. You can make a choice here. There will be a choice. As I understand it, honestly, it seems to me that you've already chosen something. That's a valuable choice. I was able to make a valuable choice, and I think you've already just made it. Maybe here, once again, something will expand through your gift. So that you could, what? Think something over? Well, yes, think it over. Pause and reflect. Regarding the harvest now, that's also a resource. Now, about gathering the harvest. What kind of harvest will you get here? You can get some kind of cornucopia here at the new moon, as I understand it, through your gift. Well, here the Aries card comes up again. That's where to take action. Aries is ruled by Mars. Where do I take action? How do I spread out? How do I manage my own resources based on this hyper-emotional gift? Most likely, how I manage my resources here. Where am I going? There's a car here. It's literally a car. Maybe where I'm going, roads, directions. Or where am I going? What am I doing with my resource? Already gathered, most likely. What am I doing here with this resource? Like this. To a friend, to something new. Because the half is the first house of the horoscope, well, it rules the first house. I don't know which one. For example, my first house of the horoscope is in Libra. That is, I'm always partnering with someone, but symbolically, it's still about where I direct my resources, my open path, somewhere for you. Wow, to roll your resource in such a way, your path opens up. To roll your resource in such a way that you have, first of all, you will have strong self-respect. That's one. Your status is like, oh, I'm so cool. Like a sacred beetle, you know? You'll almost become a sacred person, respected in your family and at work. Well, obviously, we don't have that anymore. A sacred cow. We're all worshiping you here. But you'll notice respect. A kind of holiness. Yes. A sacred beetle. A kind of holiness. A resource that you have. And you'll start to manage it in some interesting way. Medved. Well, you gain some kind of power, authority in some new way, in order to gain power. For some, it could be about settling issues with authorities, or men they've given status to, saying, this is my resource, I value and respect it. And finally, yes, I found a great job. Or did something with the authorities, an open path. Yes, did something with the authorities. But why? is it given? Because you gain power yourself and know where to invest your resources. It's like some kind of story here is already about the resources that have been gathered, as I understand it. A new way of rethinking, well, an open kind of path. An open path. Wow, you Earth. Well, some kind of material sphere is opening up. These are people you can actually meet with. I mean, people you can actually touch. Something earthly. It's not something illusory. Money, land. Earthly benefits. Earthly benefits in the end, yes. And they're not always in monetary form, but you can always sell them and get money. Everything earthly is tangible. A path is opening here. A bridge is opening. And most importantly, you put your resources there. Bring it there for more earthly power. Subtitles. Oh, Mom, subtitles. Subtitles Dimatorzak. Subtitles Dimatorzak. Subtitles Dimatorzak. They are being influenced by something from the outside, as if they can't really handle it there. I'm thinking that conversations, meetings, and sharing information will make your dream come true. Bouquet, victory, victory. Hold on tight to this victory. Because the bouquet withers quickly, hold on tight to this victory. It will bring you something new, or it will bring something new for your children. Something key and important. Unexpectedly. Unexpected changes, or a trip will lead to unexpected changes. There will be a lot of information, a lot of information. What does she want to tell you about all this? We've already asked a lot, but what does Hecate want to say? To you personally? Everything was on the lunar cycle. You always seem to decide based on it. I would say so, because it swings one way during the new moon and the other way during the full moon. So, you will have some important choices to make here, but there will be one extremely important choice. About clearing the past, so that you can be happier, thank you. It falls right under the family line. Well, but the beginning is not so great, remember? But in the end, the whole family will be happy. Well, because at first we form, so to speak, new cognitive connections. New neurons grow in our heads. So, will some new idea come to your mind here, related to your resource, where you are directing it in order to respect yourself? Here, something is called differently in a new way, and when this is formed in you, you have a new way of thinking, even a new way of acting. The Empress says it's the only way. There should be a feeling, thought, action, and getting a result involved, because this is a new way of achieving results. The Earth card was the one that appeared. When a new chain of cognitive or neural connections formed in your mind, it was recorded at your DNA level, and it became part of your family's book. Any children in your family line will be born with the ability to think the way you do, I would say, or to activate this level of thinking in their DNA. Well, obviously, we need to go through some lesson, and it's easy to understand what to do. But you had to deal with this for several lifetimes. Thank you. You'll also be born into this family line, so you'll be born again next time. Let's say, for example, in a new child who already knows everything right away. Yes, they don't have this problem at all. They know how to act. We also clear the paths, the roads, so that the souls of the family can be born. Someone, yes, and we became their descendants, so we could also be born, and the family line didn't die out. That's it. Yes, that's the story. For example, yes. I can't say for sure. Maybe you'll move on to entirely different levels or planes. So, this problem was being solved for 3 incarnations. It was clearly a tough problem, and the soul was eager to solve it. Maybe later you'll think, I've fixed things here, so let them live and be born as they wish. I gave them a path to follow and went off somewhere, to incarnate in other dimensions. Still, maybe that's not what we're reading here. We're reading that, yes, there will be something spiritual here, although it will eventually bring material results. Without them, we simply can't live here. And we can't even fulfill our soul's path if we're, just dying in the material sense. Well, it's impossible to fulfill your soul's spiritual program without living on Earth. If you die, what happens here? Well, here it already shows the full moon, right? For the full moon, some kind of structure will form here, and the full moon is next month. Yes. Yes, both can indicate that. 2 solutions with past tasks, perhaps where a structure will be drawn regarding desires, where to act, what to do, what decisions to make in order to fulfill your karmic path of destiny. Well, or for your children, renewal and liberation. Then comes this. This is what gives everything. Here, there will be 2 important things. Here is the 2 about the past, all about the spiritual past. When a new structure is formed, based on spiritual impulses and decisions made, the material component is formed. Venus, yes, Venus, or people, or money, literally money, money on a daily basis. Here comes liberation, liberation on a new path. These next 2 months are important. Well, that's what I think. Yes, that's what I assume. And the transformation will already be complete. The transformation will happen quickly. This is for hard work. Again, a reward for hard work. For hard work. And it's impossible to get something without doing anything. Either you worked spiritually, worked mentally, did something. And here, well, here's the reward for hard work. This is Archangel Michael coming up. Well, if we were doing a reading about higher powers, well, here he could also, yes, archangels are some kind of higher level. It's not for nothing that we're talking about some higher level of development. Well, that's it. To close this page forever, meaning to resolve this dilemma once and for all. Yes. This is a valuable decision of yours. Once more, the moon card appears. And most often, you make the most valuable decision in accordance with your gift, which fills you during the new moon, full moon, and all the lunar cycles. And you do have this gift. Remember, there was that clown card that came up? Yes, it fills you with very strong emotions, both overwhelming, destructive emotions, and positive emotions. Well, exactly at that moment, yes. When you process your emotions, value them, appreciate them, and can think them through logically, not just randomly. I go through it and drown my sorrow in alcohol. Yes, as often happens with us. Or I escape into an illusion. Or, on the contrary, I think it through. Why is it like this? Yes, you somehow value it. Even this. You're not afraid. You appreciate it. Well, that's it. Yes. And here comes the card. You start guessing, trying to figure things out, right? So my emotion is a thought process. I mean, is it really about understanding your own emotions or understanding the emotions of your loved ones? What do I feed on? Yes. Nutrition, nutrition. The moon, nutrition. What I feed on, what I nourish, my environment. What nourishes my life daily, the moon, because it jumps through all the zodiac signs, and every month we don't even notice it. Somewhere we start to feel like, for example, Aries, yes, just something new. I want to take action. I'll argue in a negative way. I'll fight, I'll kick, I'll bite. Or in a positive way, I'll do sports or get things done. Stand my ground firmly. It's pure energy that continues as each new zodiac sign arrives every month. And we go through all of them emotionally, sometimes without even thinking, without thinking about what we're experiencing here or why we start eating. For example, if the moon is about nutrition, well, let's say emotions. Okay, I mentioned that. But if we talk about eating, then, for example, when the moon is in Aries, yes, many people start eating on the go, on the move, quite often. You run, you eat, because you want to get everything done, or you do it in a hurry. Or maybe it should be something meaty and lean. Yes, something like that. I don't know. When the moon enters Virgo, you start analyzing, on the contrary, sharply. What did you eat? And is it healthy for you? Counting calories or reading all those labels and annotations on what you bought. Maybe buying some medicine, getting more supplements, and maybe one day you suddenly feel like working out. You might eat on the go, rush meals, skip or forget to eat, then come home and overeat in the evening. First you did it, then thought about it, and after 6 months gained weight, like when the moon is in Virgo. What happened to me? I need to make a schedule. I'm just discussing eating habits. But we also interact with people. We absorb all these emotions. We go places. We do things. We wake up at different times, go to sleep at different times, depending on which sign the moon is in. For example, when it's in Pisces, we oversleep. Or on the contrary, we can't sleep at night, but have to work during the day. And it's a disaster for us. And our minds get all foggy. And it just keeps going, or when it's in Pisces. And so we go to the Pravtsarkov. In a positive way, we start nourishing ourselves spiritually, going to theaters, or even praying, or meeting with our loved ones. We remembered, told them, love everyone, I love and appreciate you so much. Or, on the contrary, for those who react negatively, like when someone started drinking, no one loves me, no one appreciates me, and I ended up in a toxic relationship with myself. I just want to say that. I want to say that you very often make some decisions, maybe even start to do fortune telling. At least you start to do fortune telling. Or like going to astrologers or tarot readers, that's not it. Well, when you at least somehow try to figure out emotions, that's what psychologists work on for years. Yeah, some people can't figure it out, let alone ordinary people, and when you at least start to guess, in the end, you figure it out. Well, at least that's something valuable. So, in general, here you might figure it out. Maybe by looking at valuable people, talking to them, to these valuable people, or about your finances, your health. See, for some reason, health and protection of what else? Well, the physical body, the embodied body, the body in which she is exactly the higher self, the one that has the highest purpose for the soul. And boom, we closed that topic. This is what Hecate wants to tell you here. Well, let's also ask during the new moon. And the full moon is on the 3rd, yes, it will be in December. Well, in any case, during the new moon, it's just that there are 2 here. New moons, during the new moon, well, your head, yes, will be buzzing. thoughts, emotions. Yes, again. Well, that's your gift, to be emotionally filled. Or maybe you'll just want something hot. Yes, on a regular everyday level, you might suddenly want to cook something new. You'll want to drink or eat something hot. Well, that's what they call a pot. Your pot will be boiling. It will be great. You'll want to do something. The fire is burning. Yes, you'll want to do something. Creative idea. The Queen of Water appeared for you. To create something, that is, not to destroy something, but to make something, to create, to build, to repair something, to make, to whip up, to put together, to cook. Something emotional. To create not destructive emotions, but constructive ones, as they say. Not to destroy, but to create your dream. That's how it is. Maybe you'll understand something. Look, you'll understand. The structure will just come together in your mind. How much money do I need for this? Or what kind of people do I need to meet for my dream to come true? Maybe your dream will come true right at the new moon, because your mind will be working really well and you'll take action. For example, we want to eat something, we do it, and we like it. Our dream has come true. But it could also be that you did something constructive, not destructive. To just take something. That's what it means to take. Or to understand how much I need. Or to just go ahead and do it. So it feels like it's enough. As if it's enough for me. During the new moon, you might get a new or past idea. Here, it's like these elephants are pouring out. Emotions from the past, you see. And the person about this. Look, there are several hands. Yes, really several hands. And I can actually do it. Get it through resources from the past. Maybe, with those people I know, I can achieve my dream. It's called thank you. Oh, that's the only thing. Let's say the new moon, or the full moon. It starts right now. It's already happening. It gives energy. Your mind is already starting to boil. Well, maybe someone will learn a secret on that very day or the next day. A secret that will put everything in its place. Or maybe they'll just get what they want, what they desire. Will get it. Interesting. What is that? Some kind of story will start to unfold here. Well, I don't know. I'll show you some secrets now. Secrets. Secrets. What was destroying you? What will change for the better? Maybe a man who was destroying something will change. Destructive actions regarding the past will stop because something creative will begin. Maybe something from the past. Because of this, what you had, what you want to keep, may be destroyed. And on this day, or in these 2 or 3 days, yes, either through a trip, or through conversations with someone, or through some actions, I improved something, just like that. And on this very day, something important can happen. Heka, that's what the editor says. Look, the stress. What could have been destroyed? Now I have improved it. Yes, I'm creating something. I learned some secret. How to change things. Maybe to go somewhere, or through a trip. And just did it. Well, here it is. A wise decision will come. Some path will become clear. Yes, a path lights up in the darkness. Wisdom. A wise decision comes. How to change your destiny, my dear ones. Your own destiny. Redactor. So that Atlantis, something wise and valuable, created over time, does not sink or get eaten by sharks. This is Yegorova and Semkin. Well, in general, someone appears, maybe a person, maybe a guardian angel, or something else, or whatever. You understand how to preserve this. Something valuable, some kind of Atlantis, something truly wise and precious, something people invest a lot into, so it stays afloat. So that some important things don't go under. And again, here Neptune comes up, so that some important emotions don't sink. If you're filming some kind of video, like I am, so that, for example, your channel grows. Neptune often means videos, photos, I don't know. Something spiritual. Someone, well, it's the highest. Something like the highest. Because Neptune rules over the highest of its energies. And on Earth, it's a creative process. Just an ordinary creative process here on Earth. And for example, when it comes to poets, well, let's talk about that kind of creativity. We have different kinds of creativity. We give birth to children. That's also creativity. We're not destroying, we're giving life, even though no one sees it as creativity. Even later, we creatively engage with them, reading fairy tales, inventing, drawing, and teaching. People often overlook how powerful this creative process is. Well, for example, who was Yesenin? Yes, he wrote poetry, and he was always finding himself with different women. If it's about creativity, yes, you can actually fall into low energy with it. For example, oh, love was terrible, yes, but it gave him inspiration, and he wrote poetry. But what if he didn't have the inspiration to create? According to Neptune, people start to destroy themselves, drink heavily, hurt themselves, torment themselves if they can't hurt others. Well, some start blaming and destroying others. When there is no creative energy, which is a lack of spirituality, not enough strength of spirit, that's the story, and that's what's happening here. How do we preserve what is most spiritual and valuable? What we've invested so much in? What else does Hecate want to say? Here the mystery of independence is born. Yes, the mystery of independence is born. In a sharp issue, where can you win? A sharp decision may come. This is Jupiter, a kind of karmic teacher, expanding your opportunities through some kind of decision. Yes, the scythe can remove something from someone in order to win. This is the card, the Patriarch of Victory. Well, it's a spiritual victory. Yes, we are reading with higher energy, but maybe someone just needs to make a decision for expansion. What to mirror? It will be mirrored to you. Well, ancestral spirits may also come to you in your dreams. Relatives can also mirror. By the way, your relatives will mirror you. Your family will mirror you on this day, or you will be mirrored on this day. The fact that your habits, look, these are traditions. But what if, for example, there are no relatives? If relatives can't mirror you, then it's not a tradition anymore. Yes, it's a habit. On this day, your habits will be mirrored to you. Well, or negative ones that you need to get rid of in order to win. Or positive habits that you need to develop so that a new path, yes, new neural connections can form. A habit, yes. Sow a habit and you will reap a life. You will reap a destiny. And what is karma? Is it positive or negative? Yes, it's only the consequences of our actions. The same habits you've formed, you've created some good habit. Well, for those who have a family, these are some traditions. Traditional communication. Here, people will mirror you. Or maybe the people you traditionally communicate with will mirror you either negatively or positively. In general, yes, so that your gift brings you joy, as they say. Well, for those who have children, children will definitely mirror you. That's how it is. Well, actually, by the way, all the cards are upright here. Yes, yes. All the cards came out upright. Children will mirror you. Or you will learn something. Go through your own gift path. Well, take the key to paradise on earth. On earth, made by earth. Something is born on earth. Yes. To mirror it so that, well, so that here, on earth, you can receive joy. You learn to receive joy. Yes, it worked out. Here is such a message for you from Hecate. Thank you for being with me today. Please leave comments. It's not hard for you. And it will make me very, very happy to receive any feedback from you, whether it's likes, comments, or even sponsoring this channel, donations, or little gifts for a cup of coffee. Thank you. Please come by more often. Stay longer. I really, really enjoyed talking with you. See you next time. Bye.